Hey everybody, my name is MetalMusicMan.
And I'm Professor Lex.
And this is episode 75 of the Metal and Lex podcast. We are in person.
Yeah, you can probably tell from my audio quality, my fidelity.
It's not going... I don't know why you're a dial-up modem in this.
I thought that you were doing your Tom Morello impersonation.
I don't know how I have lived my entire life up to this point without making the connection that Tom Morello is a human dial-up modem on guitar. But if you didn't steal that joke from anywhere, you're basically a genius.
Thank you.
Like, I'm just listening to, like, I'm imagining like Bulls on Parade, but you just replace all of the licks with a dial-up modem, and it's just like,
you could absolutely do...
and then Zach De La Rocha is still just doing it.
Bulls on Parade!
There's no, he has no, like, awareness that it's just a dial-up modem. Like, to him, it just sounds the same as Tom Morello.
Yeah, because he's not looking back. He doesn't see it's not Tom back there. It's just a big modem.
Go with it now! Like, that's amazing. Okay, anyway, sorry. That wow, Alex, you're a genius.
I'm sure that translated really well to our listeners at home.
I'm sure they're loving all of the sounds that we are putting into their ears at the moment. Anyway, it's a Saturday.
Yes.
And we're gonna, I guess, probably talk about Melty Blood since we just played Melty Blood last night.
We're gonna confront the elephant in the room so soon?
We're just diving in.
You want to talk about your dick?
I don't have anything else to talk about other than that my hip still hurts me and I'm old. I'm just diving. I'm diving in.
You're diving in?
Melty Blood's a video game that is stupid and awful because it has dumb anime boobs and everybody jumps around stupidly and it's terrible. Yeah. Is fast. It's too fast.
Too fast.
It's ABC launch, ABC ground. These are all terrible things. If you're thinking those sound good, you're dumb and you should die. Is awful. Is awful. Bye, Alex. Yeah, you did.
You got me.
I got you.
Thank you. Happy 75th episode, everyone.
Happy 75th episode. I'm killing Professor Lex. I'm murdering him in my apartment. I could totally physically overpower him. It would be easy.
Well, you got like an inch or two on me. You're 6 feet tall, right?
I am 5'11". So yeah. So yes, I am. I'm very tall. And imposing.
Do you remember we were commentating on Lethal League Blaze, and the two of us had sat down?
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And I was equally as tall as you.
Yeah, because I'm all leg and no torso.
Or no, wait, I was taller than you.
You probably are taller. Yeah. I there are several people who are like 5'8", which is a few inches shorter than I am. But if we sit down, they look much taller than me.
I don't have that.
My entire body is my legs. I'm only legs.
You're tragically born without torso.
Yeah, I was born without a torso. Anyway,
just from from your hips to your nips.
hips to nips it sounds like a really like weird, sexy rap song or something.
Hips to nips.
Yeah, hips to nips. Anyway, yeah, Melty Blood's weird. I don't like it. I played it with Alex a while ago.
Stop lying to these people.
And it was terrible.
You kept smiling. Everything. I saw the joy in your eyes.
No, well, I'm not talking about last night. I'm talking about like...
Melty Blood actress again.
Alex, I'm building the story.
I'm sorry.
Here, okay?
I put the trolley before the horse.
Please appreciate my narrative arc.
This isn't... Okay, so clarify for the good people at home. You and I, several months ago, played Melty Blood, actress again, current code. MBAACC.
Yeah, because reasons. It has to have like 1,000 names in it, and I have to say weird shit. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. I hated everything about it. It was awful.
I made him...
Previous to this, the most I have liked an anime game is the one that I can't remember.
Grand Blue.
No, Grand Blue's not an anime
Under Night
game.
in Birth, EXE late
Grand Blue, if you think Grand Blue is an anime fighter, you're dumb.
Wrong.
And you're wrong. Grand Blue's not an anime fighter. It happens to have an anime art style.
It is
not an anime fighting game. Under Night I liked because you could just press A. I'm checking my watch. A, and then it would
receive a full combo.
It would just do a combo into super. And I was like, yeah, that's the best thing about these terrible mechanics.
Smart steer.
I can just
smart steer. That's it was called, I think, just auto combo back in Persona 4.
That makes sense.
But now it's in Under Night. It was smart steer.
So because those games are awful and no one should enjoy them, I enjoyed that because it allowed me to ignore the terrible mechanics that were awful.
You could play footsies and
then just go
still get a combo. It wasn't a great combo.
Yeah, it did like a half of the damage of what I probably could have done, but that was fine. Yeah. I was able to play. Anyway, so that was good in terms of anime dumb things. Fast forward recently, Guilty Gear Strive is fucking awful. What the hell's wrong with you? Why do you like that game?
I don't
it's
like
fucking
it
terrible. It's playable, but it's awful. The art is terrible.
I like the art.
No, it's terrible. The user interface is a fucking war crime.
Can't comment on that.
Like you do a counter hit and the entire screen is like
counter
hit. Like the words are like fucking size 400 font. It's God,
they stretch across your head. The longer that your combo goes, the bigger the number gets. And I know that sounds like straightforward, but like physically larger on the screen.
You said sounds straightforward, but I think what you meant is sounds like a joke, but is actually real. Which is basically how I would succinctly describe Guilty Gear Strive.
It sounds like a joke, but is actually real.
It seems like something that someone like me would make up as a hyperbolic comedic routine to describe everything that is stupid about that genre.
Faust.
But it's a real game, and they really did those things.
Faust, who is a doctor that wears a bag over his head and has a scalpel that's roughly 7 feet long, who's bad. He has an item move that could randomly give the other character an afro.
Yeah, he gives him an afro, but it's an afro made out of smoke because it's a bomb or something. I hate this. I hate it. Anyway,
but we're not here to talk about Strive.
Guilty Gear was also stupid. So what I'm leading to here is, if you didn't already know from listening to this podcast, I fucking hate 99% of anime fighting games. They're also terrible.
Games versus fighting games, Street Fighter fighting games.
Against all odds. Against all odds.
Say it. Say the line.
I don't totally hate this new Melty Blood.
Woo!
Alex,
that's it.
Alex is so hype.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Mission accomplished. Why is there an American flag and a jet behind you right now, Alex?
We made
George
it.
W. Professor Alex.
No.
just landed on the aircraft carrier. Mission accomplished. Anyway, I don't totally hate the game.
We played for like 2 or 3 hours last night.
We played for a pretty good amount of time. I didn't love every second of it, but
sure.
So okay, hang on. Let me just get out of the way the things that are still dumb. I still hate that there are 50,000 jumps and movements in the air. I still fucking hate.
Will was born without knees. Keep going.
I still hate ABC launch, ABC ground.
He's struggled with the alphabet for a while, but he's getting there. He's getting there.
I still really hate like ABB jump, BB whatever, like double jump.
Well, you don't have to do that.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Okay.
I still hate that. I still really don't like almost any of the art. I would describe the
art. Oh, I love the art.
Okay, well, let me clarify. Maybe I don't mean the art is fine. I don't hate the art.
Okay.
Maybe let me clarify.
Please be specific.
The art style is fine in terms of looking at a character doing nothing. They look pretty. That's fine.
That is true.
That's fine.
Universally.
The art direction of like hit spark, fireballs, all of that, I dislike because it's basically the same problem that like KOF has, where every single effect looks the same, and the effects that occur aren't like noticeable enough to really tell what's going on to a passerby. When you see like Guile throw a sonic boom, it looks very different than everything else that has been happening, because when Guile does like a normal kick, he doesn't just shit out like sonic boom hit sparks. But when you play like a lot of the KOF games, or I feel like this game suffers from the same thing, it's like the hit spark that happens when you hit with an attack versus like when you throw a fireball, the fireball animations, or like the, what do they call it, the guard break or the unblockable spark. It's like a green spark, which I understand now
is to bring everything in and
that the green the green thing specifically signifies that it's an unblockable. Yeah. But the differentiation between like that green spark and like just generic weird blue sparks that happen because you're hitting, it's muddy, which is my main problem with a lot of anime games. There's just a lot of mud. It's like you just can't tell. Everything's covered in mud, and so I feel like the art direction, the art.
The way that they're conveying a lot of the
the effects that are used to convey what's going on are all super similar and not like differentiated, and it's not because the effects need to be crazy, it's because there's too much of the same weird craziness.
Okay.
And which I feel like is why these games want so many like screen freezes, which I also hate about them.
Okay.
Because it's like
You
they
do
do such
hate
a
that.
bad job of conveying visually what's going on that they feel the need to constantly freeze the screen so that you can tell what's going on. So much so that in the tutorial they're like, use your moon drive to freeze the screen and check out what's going on.
And
Alex
that's
is like,
cool. That's
and
cool.
Alex is like, that's so neat. I love that. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. So anyway, point being, I could go on, but you already know where I'm going. I still hate all that shit. And I still like even playing it. I don't like it. It doesn't appeal to me. But to my surprise, unlike almost everything that is in like this stereotype of anime fighters with all the things I've been talking about, it actually has some really good and cool defensive mechanics. And surprisingly, shockingly, at least somewhat seems to actually have actual zoning interplay, which is shocking. Which is fucking shocking to me because these games never have that shit. Like Alex says they do.
No.
And then I play them and I'm like, no, they fucking don't. Shut up.
Zoning
actually feels like it does have that.
Zoning works a little bit differently in Melty Blood. One of the things that Melty Blood emphasizes over even other anime fighters is that range of motion and mobility. It's very Smash-like in that sense. How you've got like a second jump and moves to change your jump trajectory, and then you've got the air dash, which isn't really a Smash analog, but you've got a lot of mobility options, especially in the air.
I will allow that as a comparison and say that it is analogous to Smash.
Yes.
I still dislike
this
the application and execution of it, but it is a yes. It
okay,
is,
good.
Yes, it is similar.
Okay, so
yes.
since it's like that in a flat, boring, stale game like Street Fighter, when Sagat throws fireballs, your options are to jump over them, duck them,
exciting,
throw a fireball,
digestible.
in return.
Actually
It's highly
intelligible.
digestible,
Actually intelligible.
like rice or soup. It is very digestible.
You can have really good rice.
You could
and
have
soup.
spicy soup, spicy rice soup. We don't.
That's pretty good. We do. It's delicious.
But what I'm driving at is that zoning works differently because your projectiles and the way that you throw fireballs has to fundamentally be different to keep up with the way that the other character is allowed to interact. Because in this particular incarnation of Melty Blood, you can use your double jump to avoid a fireball. You can air dash over a fireball. You can low profile by dashing underneath it, or you could shield. You've got a bunch of options that you can use. And so zoning must fundamentally be different. Sagat would get his ass beaten in an anime game. He is too linear, too straightforward, and there's too much recovery on his fireballs.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything weird like summon a dolphin. So he just couldn't compete.
You got to summon those dolphins. You got to summon walruses made out of confetti.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very important. Yeah. So the zoning, at least from I've been playing Vlav, which he has like actual
one
zoning,
of the
which
two
is cool.
zoning characters.
There isn't like as much zoning as I would like, you know, if I'm having my druthers, as it were, but it is significantly more zoning than I anticipated. There would be, and it isn't even, at least from what I've played so far, such a weird type of zoning, such as like Morrigan and MVC3, where like no one would look at that and say that it wasn't zoning. Sure. But also it's like very niche, particular to that character.
It's Ikaruga. And it's only for Morrigan. No one else can do what Morrigan does.
Whereas like Vlav feels like basically, Sagat, just anime Sagat.
Yeah, because he can...
he's just anime Sagat. Like your fireballs go up and down like Goken, which is fine. He has some air fireballs like Akuma, but basically it's like he has one fireball or two fireball mix up. Mm-hmm. And then high fireball or low fireball mix up.
We found out this morning the unblockable fireball.
Yeah, there's some unblockable shit. We'll get to that in a second. So that's cool. Zoning is cool, but I also really like the shield thing, which I'm actually... Alex kept being like, I'm so surprised and shocked that you liked it. Why did you think I would not like that?
Because you hate Third Strike.
That's not the same thing at all. Oh my god, the revving outside. I surely hope that comes through on the microphone so you can all understand my life. That shield is nothing like parrying.
It's like parrying. It is fundamentally quite different from parrying because it puts you in a weird guessing game after you do the parry. But I did not expect you to appreciate the nuance.
Yeah, so the difference between that shield and parry, just immediately, just to like explain to you why you're silly for even thinking that, is that when you parry in Third Strike, all you do is press forward.
Or down forward.
Yes, and there is no animation.
Right. You don't parry unless you've parried, which sounds stupid, but again, it doesn't come out unless you did the
that right there is why parrying is fucking stupid. Okay. Because when you play Third Strike, you just like jump in the air and you hit forward if you think they were going to do the thing and then hit back again really quickly.
I see.
And
so there's
if they
no
do
drawback.
a move, if they do a move, then you parry it. Cool, great. If they don't, you didn't do anything. There was no animation. It's the same reason like certain command grabs in Street Fighter 2 are so fucking broken because there's no whiff animation. So like E Honda does Oicho throw, but there is literally no whiff animation.
He just stands next to you, and if he was wrong about the Oicho throw, then nothing
and
happens.
when I say no whiff animation, again, Street Fighter 2 is a great game, but it's 25, 30 fucking years, it's 30 fucking years old, right? And so it's 30 years old and nothing existed before it.
Yes.
So it gets passes for shit like this. Okay, Third Strike doesn't.
It came out 10 years later. Yeah.
So like when you do Oicho throw input as Honda and hit like jab, he will just jab if they aren't in range for the Oicho throw. It's so stupid.
Compare and contrast with Street Fighter 4. If I fuck up and I do,
you go
throw,
and you grab and then you lurch over because you grabbed like an idiot when they weren't anywhere near you, and then you eat shit and die.
Yeah.
So that's why third strike parrying is fucking stupid because you just throw parries out all the fucking time. So I think where you were maybe going, which I don't like as much, that you can like air shield, for instance.
Sure.
Because that's one of the things I dislike about parrying so much in Street Fighter 3 is that you can jump at someone and then they do a DP, but they parry it. But the difference, I feel like, in this game, and I still don't love, for the same exact reason, I don't love that you can air shield in Melty Blood. But the difference is, when you activate shield, you are stuck in shield. There is lag time to letting go of shield. So if you jump shield at me and I don't do anything, I can see that you jump shielded and I can air throw you. Or I can do an unblockable ground move.
Yep.
That is nuanced gameplay.
That's interplay, right? Yeah, because there's
similarly
there's
on
nothing,
the
I'm not
ground.
talking to
You can only, and it's not like you just shield all the time. You have to do a high shield or a low shield. So there's the high-low mix-up. But then in addition to that, it's that the shield itself still has that lag on the ground. So if I do nothing, I can just grab you, which leads into the next thing that is really weird, but I'm pretty sure I like it, is that when you grab in Melty Blood, in the new Melty Blood, you just dash forward automatically.
Yeah, that is new.
So it's like you have like games where you have tick throws and then you do like
crouch jab,
and then you walk up and grab, but you were slightly out of range. Like this happens in Grand Blue all the time because the grab range is dog shit in Grand Blue, which I don't necessarily implicitly hate, but it is kind of awkward.
It is a fact.
A lot of the time. Yeah, it's dog shit. It's like the worst grab range of all time. But that's okay. I mean, that's okay. But the point is, if you grab when you're out of range in this new Melty Blood, you do like a quick dash. It's almost like a built-in Kara grab for every character. And it's not like you dash across the whole screen, but it makes you dash like X number of steps forward automatically if you're out of range for the grab. And so it just makes grabbing feel really like good. But
you said
if you do the dash
grab
forward, you still will eat shit if they check you with a jab because you take longer to get there. So I really like that, and that's interesting to me. Like, I don't know. Like, as soon as I think the first time I did it in training,
the first time you threw,
I was like, wait, am I dashing? And you're like, yeah, it's a whole weird thing that's in this game. And my first thought was like, why is this the first game that's ever done this? That I'm not saying it's the kind of mechanic every game definitively should have, but it's shocking to me that 2021 is the first time anyone ever did that. Because it feels pretty good.
It's the opposite of throws in Grand Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels pretty good. So I think that's really neat. And that means that like if I do like block string and then I see you do your shield, I can just hit grab even if I'm not that near you, and I will just dash in and grab you before your shield ends. So that is why I like the shield system. And that to me is a significant difference between third strike parrying and the way this shield system works.
I knew that they were different. I just didn't think that you would.
Yeah, the other thing, I'm just going to skip right by the passive aggression in that, you fucking asshole. But the other thing is, so then when you do the shield, it's kind of cool because you have like a couple different options you can do after you shield someone's attack. So the shield requires like a separate meter. You can hold it for X number of frames, and if somebody attacks you, you absorb. Then during the absorption, you can hit a button to like, you can like teleport behind people, or you can like do launcher reversal, which gives you like a free combo if they're in range of the launcher. So that's kind of interesting. I still don't know how I feel about the weird invincible option you can do during it.
That's the third option.
Yeah, but whatever. For the most part, I think that's really interesting. There are also still invincible backdashes in the game, which is like, if you hate invincible backdash, I just want to like drive to your house and kick you in the nuts. I don't understand why everyone just decided. It's like they played Street Fighter 4
universally, for
10 years. And it's like the fucking best game of all time. And if you think it isn't, you're fucking stupid. Maybe you don't think it's the best game, but like if you don't think Street Fighter 4 is one of the best games ever made, I don't even care what your preference is. It's so good that you cannot deny how fucking good it is. Even if you're like, look, I'd rather play Marvel 3 because I'm Professor Alex because I'm weird. Like, that's fine. But like, I feel like anyone who has any sense about them is like, that's a fucking good video game, right?
Clean, solid.
Yeah,
good.
Like, that's a good video game. And just for no reason, there was just like weird random Twitter whiners that just put out there in the world that Invincible Backdash was dumb. And then because of those dumbasses, and because of shitty anime playing people, which includes Woshige, who you did do it. Woshige, who designed Street Fighter V and is the lead developer for the combat system in Street Fighter V, gets rid of that and all the other options for defense, and then everyone's shocked that the game is terrible. It's like, oh, who would have thought that if we make a game do nothing but offense, it'll be fucking awful and feel like an empty husk of non-interaction. So I don't understand why people hate Invincible Backdashes. You're fucking dumb if you hate Invincible Backdashes. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be tweaked or modified to be balanced in such a way or whatever, but the idea of a quick invincible escape that has lag at the end is just inherently good, because it means that you have always a way to counter pressure, but can always be read and punished for doing so.
Yep.
That is just inherently a fantastic interaction. It's the same reason that directional air dodges in Smash have so much lag at the end, because they are very quick and they do get you out. But if you do that and the other person staggers for a split second, you eat shit and get punished. That is a good system in any game. And
any system where you eat shit for
just
being
the fact,
wrong.
Yeah. So the fact that like we're just playing, and there were multiple times where I was like, Alex is doing a weird block string, and I would just backdash, and I would get out and be like, I'm a genius. And at the same time, there'd be times where you would like stagger, and I would backdash, and then you would punish me.
Yep.
Just feels good. Why don't people want that? You're stupid for not wanting that. If you think invincible backdashes are bad, I hate you and you should die.
Oof.
Like, it feels so good to have good defensive options in a video game. It feels so good that, as you may remember 10 minutes ago, I dislike a lot of things about this game still and think it is awful and dumb in numerous different ways. I hate so many things, but just the fact that the defense in this game very apparently doesn't suck within the first like 2 hours of playing it is enough for me to be like, I don't hate this. I don't mind playing it at all.
Would you like to play again? I'm playing it now.
I would play the game again just because defense isn't awful.
It's a thing.
So that's cool. And I would not have remotely expected Melty Blood
to be the one
to randomly do that, especially considering that the last Melty Blood I played absolutely did not do that.
No, they had shield, and they had like shield bunker, which is kind of like an alpha counter or a V reversal almost. But generally speaking, no. The answer to offense and air mobility is really strong in this game was be faster.
Be faster, do more damage, have better offense.
Yeah.
Unga, bunga, 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 unga, unga.
Now, they did have a handful of like air unblockable moves. So like some stuff would prevent you from being able to just take to the skies. But that was like on a character to character basis. This one just kind of was like, what if you could do something when someone air dashed at you?
What if you could do something about that?
Yeah.
And again, necessarily the thing you can do about that doesn't work. And in fact, you get punished.
Yep.
You get punished if they don't do the thing that you read. That is like fighting games.
That's fighting games.
So to put a cap on all of this from my vantage point, this is the most positive thing I'm going to say all day. Buckle in. If they removed 75% of the air jump around bullshit.
And they won't.
I know.
Okay.
But if they did, and if there was more like if there were slightly more hit stun and whiff on like the really crazy fast chains. So basically I'm saying if they just slowed the game itself down by like 10 or 15%, and if there were less air jump shenanigans, and if the visual clarity from an art design perspective was improved, those are not, I know that sounds like a good chunk, but considering what this game is, if they did those things, this conversation right now would be me getting like actually really hype about this game.
Right, you'd be dropping Smash.
I wouldn't drop Smash, but I feel like if they did those things, I would actually be like close to as excited as I was about like Grand Blue.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be an anime game.
And it turns out
it actually is Street Fighter 2 with corner combos.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't be as Street Fighter 2 as Grand Blue is, and that's okay. I think it would be. So like there is still too much in the vein of like dumb anime shit that I don't like in the game, but there is a shocking amount of like stuff that I actually am like,
you vibe with, you fucks with.
This actually feels kind of nice. So anyway, that's surprising and interesting. I don't think I'll ever super focus on it just by virtue of the optimization routes are clearly going to go in the anime direction.
Well,
and I think that was...
Are they?
Yeah, I think they are. I would bet money on it.
We were talking about, you and I, the stuff with Vlav. We were looking at his more advanced combos. We were looking at his intermediate combos, and you were like, I hate jump BC, throw.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I do not like that.
Yeah, it's stupid. I don't want green eggs and ham.
But then they did like ABC into a special move, and then you linked with 2C.
Yeah, that one was cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, hang on.
Here's
the problem with the point you're making, though. That will be a thing that is useful, and I will like that more, but it doesn't invalidate the ABC jump bullshit. And in fact, it seems very obvious to me that the ABC jump, ABC ground is going to be way more common than the other thing.
It's easier to perform because you only need to do
It's easier to
one
perform.
button.
It happens all the fucking time.
And it's the launcher seems to pull them into a fixed distance from you. I don't know if you noticed that while we were playing. But when you hit someone with the auto combo,
it makes it consistent once they're launched.
Yep.
That's pretty common. I mean, Cross Tekken did that. Once it landed, it was like a set, which I'm fine with that.
That's good.
It's just too much. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people like ABC launch.
I think you'll always do that at the end of your combo, but I think that the majority of your damage will come from whatever string comes before your launcher. You'll still do the launcher.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, again, is not bad, but like I feel like the game, again, this is very clearly just like my opinion at this point, but like games like that to me, there is I'm not like, there's no comedic effect here. Like I literally do not understand the appeal. It is only a downside to have ABC launch. I will never want ABC launch.
Okay.
Ever. The only game that has ever made me think it was remotely neat was Cross Tekken. And even in Cross Tekken...
Why?
It's just not fun. I don't know what else to say.
No, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Why was that the one? Because
it's slower and a lot more limited. And because you don't...
ABC launch?
Yeah. It's slower. Okay. It's a lot more limited. And you're not typically jumping after it. Points to Grand Blue. Points to the new Melty Blood. It does auto jump after the launch, which I like. I hate having to do ABC super jump. It's fucking dumb. I'm not interested in that skill set. It's like L canceling in Melee. It is hard. It is difficult. Also, you never don't want to do it. So why does it exist?
I don't know. It's like, okay. Let me back up. ABC launch in Marvel is so second nature. It's first nature. I can't. It's like. I know you want to tell me you're not capable. No, it is Dunning-Kruger. You are incapable of imagining how ingrained this is for you like, compared to a normal human. But like it is akin to me the way that it would be as though you were saying chewing gum and walking at the same time is really hard. You only think that because you've got Dunning-Kruger super hard right now.
No, but see, you're stupid because your Dunning-Kruger is so hard because you've done it. You've done it so much that you are infuriatingly ignoring.
I'm not ignoring. I'm just confused.
years of input for that shit. I am very good at fighting games. I am even good at combos. I can't. It's not that I can't do the combo, but you seem to think that's the same as pressing like jab, jab, medium punch. Yeah. And you are so far down the Dunning-Kruger rabbit hole. Like you are literally at the center of the fucking earth by comparison.
But like just hold up after you do the launcher.
No.
I don't know what else to say.
No.
It's more
down
button.
up. It's down up, first of all.
No.
Yeah, because you got a super jump in a lot of those games.
In Marvel 3, which is the one I was talking about.
Okay, well, sure. Depends on the game, yada, yada. But even then, connecting after it just feels awkward a lot of the time. Like, people drop out. The button presses are too fast. There's not enough hits done. And there's not enough, confirm time. It's just like, Which makes sense because you're Alex, you are Potato. You just press all the buttons. You just want to go bop, 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 bop and hit buttons. I just don't like that. I don't know what else to say other than that I think it's dumb.
And that's fine. That's fine.
And I think anyone who isn't a super Dunning-Kruger syndrome Marvel player will agree with me. And my evidence is no one plays these video games. They have no mass appeal because they're only for fucking weirdos like you.
I don't know. Which one do you think has more marketable mass appeal? Melty Blood type Lumina or New World? Because let's check Steam.
Why are you making this comparison like it has any bearing on anything?
I'm just saying.
New World is also a weird niche game for super Dunning-Kruger MMO players. Why do you think all of my super fucking down the rabbit hole MMO friends are playing New World right now? That's
because they don't know about Melty Blood. That's why.
No, like New World is not Diablo, and that is actually you have dug your own grave without knowing it. That is my exact point. It is a super niche game for fans that are so far down the rabbit hole of the genre that they think that it's normal and easy, and it isn't. Like, I am very good at fighting games. People will always get mad when I say that. They're like, oh, but you can't even do ABC launch. I'm like,
I don't get mad at you for that.
You don't, people, the royal people. But like, it's like, oh, people do. I'm not just making this up. You already know there are so many fucking dumb people in the Twitterverse or the Discordverse or the fighting game community verse who will go unnamed, who have the biggest bleeding buttholes over the fact that I once said I don't like Marvel. I don't like Guilty Gear. And then they're like, MetalMusicMan is an asshole. I can't believe anyone would ever be friends with him. What did he do? He said, this is like the joke where they're like, you're in jail and there's like all these hardened criminals. They're all tatted up. They're super muscly. Daffy Duck's in jail. And they're like, what are you in for? And Daffy Duck's like, I tore the tag off a mattress. And they're all like, ah! And this is like MetalMusicMan. Why do the fighting game community people hate you? And I'm like, I don't like anime fighting games or Marvel. And they're like, oh my God, it's the worst thing. I can't believe it.
At least you recognize that you're committing a war crime.
Anyway, yeah, dude, it's just like a whole fucking subgenre within a subgenre for fucking weird niche shit. And people just have like super DKR and don't understand it.
Or super Dave's stupid
DKS.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, against all odds, this Melty Blood game is actually kind of neat. I don't love it. Don't misquote me.
But MetalMusicMan, lover of Melty Blood.
But it is not like, okay, let me compare it to Grand Blue, because Grand Blue is the best surprise of all time. Grand Blue
was the best surprise.
I know. If Grand Blue had good netcode and or COVID didn't happen, that is one of the best fighting games ever made. Grand Blue is so good. It does so many things right. It's unique. It's simple. It's complex. It's so fucking good. And it just has dog shit netcode, dog shit online, and COVID occurred.
And you can't go outside to
COVID occurred 1 second after it was released. Yep. Grand Blue is so good. I feel like if I'm comparing Melty Blood, the new Melty Blood, to Grand Blue, it's like 60% as good for me personally, which I am shocked.
You didn't think it would be 60.
I thought it would be like 20 at best, if even that. Yeah, I thought it would be like... Because I fucking hated the other Melty Blood you had me play. It was fucking awful.
Yes,
I liked no part of it. It was terrible. So I am shocked that it is like actually... And I would say comparing it to... I'm going to say Strive is like a 45% on the Grand Blue meter. Strive is like,
it's almost half of what you wanted.
It's fine. Yeah, it's less than half definitively. I don't enjoy it at all, but I don't hate it so much that I wouldn't play it for 30 minutes or an hour with friends if they all wanted to play it. Whereas like this new Melty Blood is like, okay, I don't totally hate every second of this. I've even enjoyed a few interactions.
You gave me the FGC nod. I was telling this to Jin last night. She did not understand or appreciate what was happening. And I was like, Jin, he gave me the FGC nod. And she said, I could nod at you. And I was like, no, Jin, it's not the same.
What was the interaction?
You crouch shielded and I charged an overhead.
Yeah. And I knew why.
Like, yep.
I knew why. That's okay. But see, that's what I was telling you is like, there is a surprising amount of interactions that occur in that game that make sense. And everybody acts like, again, if we can go back to all of the the fucking unnamed haters in the fucking FGC.
To all your haters.
All these fucking fucks who are fucking pieces of shit. Yeah, fucking eat my asshole. You know who you are. I doubt you listen to this podcast because you're a fucking hater piece of shit. Also, no one listens to this podcast. Anyway.
We love you who do, though.
Anyway, fucking, they're all just like, oh, like, what, like, how could you hate this? There's so much good shit. And it's like, no, dude, nothing makes any fucking sense in these games ever. It's just a bunch of fucking spam, random ass bullshit occurring, and you're just a crack addict. You're literally a crack addict, and this is what you need to get off. Like, this is like fucking anime fighting games are grandma porn. You are so far down the fucking porn addiction rabbit hole that the only thing you can get off to is grandmas dressed as clowns. If you are an anime fighting game player, you need to understand that this is what your life is. My point is, shockingly, while we were playing grandma clown porn together, while we were jacking off to clown grandmas,
jerking off together,
there was a surprising amount of like intelligible moments.
Yeah.
That
things
immediately,
that you parsed,
inherently, intuitively made sense.
Yeah.
And that is not what you typically find in grandma clown porn.
Well, that's not what you
typically
find.
Nothing makes sense when you're watching grandma clown porn.
Are you speaking from personal experience?
You're just thinking, why would anyone watch this? Who is this for?
You think to yourself, I
Alex
would never watch
Alex
this
is in the
at
corner with 12
clowngrandmas.com.
like fucking blow up balloons up his ass, and he's honking his clown nose, and he's like, "This is for me," and then he gets in a clown car and he drives away, and you're just like, "All right, that guy's fucking weird. We don't care about his feelings." Who is this for? But yeah, there was a surprising amount of like intelligible, understandable shit.
Yep.
In the Melty Blood interactions that we had, I was shocked by that 100%.
And
I don't like all of them
multiple times.
Yeah, I wish the speed was a little slower. I wish like some of the fucking, I don't know. There's too many chains. That's my other problem. It's like I like chains, but when like everything
this has twice as many.
Everything chains into everything, up and down, every which way.
Yep.
For no reason.
And backwards. Backwards is the important thing.
Yeah, for Melty. I don't know. I'm not saying you couldn't design a system where that made sense and worked, but I don't know. I feel like here you go. Hang on. This is a great analogy. Sometimes art is best when you have restrictions and limitations.
Okay.
Putting restrictions and limitations on things forces you to be creative to understand how to work within those restrictions and limitations. Mm-hmm. But when you have a game like this where it's just like fucking poop on the floor, who gives a fuck? Because there's nothing to restrict you. It's like you can just do anything. It doesn't appeal as much, and I feel like you can't. I mean, you would, I'm sure, argue like, oh, but you can be infinitely free, and that's so great and wonderful.
Not infinitely,
but then I
just
can't.
The bounds are bigger than you appreciate.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me put it like this. There's this old allegory that you can use. You get a cup, and you fill the cup with grasshoppers, and they're jumping around, and of course they'll jump out of the cup. But for whatever reason, you want the grasshoppers in the cup.
I don't think I've ever heard whatever this allegory is.
You take a lid. And just like
lint?
Lid, L-I-D.
A lid.
Take a lid like you'd find at McDonald's. You put that lid on the cup. The grasshoppers jump. They hit the lid. They bounce off the ceiling. They come back down. Eventually, the grasshoppers, they learn that you can't jump higher than the ceiling allows. Once you take that lid back off, those same grasshoppers still won't jump out of the cup. Because they still assume that the lid is there, and that's how they've been trained to jump. Street Fighter, Will, is your lid. You are that grasshopper in the cup, and you've been taught that the ceiling is only so low to the ground when it's much higher. And even then, I have a lid in place.
Let me fix this
as
analogy.
a turbo
Let me
grasshopper.
fix this analogy for you. Let me fix this analogy for you. Inside of the cup
are two wolves.
Inside of the cup are hookers and orgasms and self-validation and family. Outside the cup is sadness and despair, and more importantly, stupidity. Why the fuck?
See, you feel safe in
There's
your
nothing.
cup.
It's not about safety. There's just nothing good outside the cup. It's not that I don't know. It's not that I've forgotten how to jump out of the cup. When you jump out, you're like, oh man, there's just a bunch of dog poop out here. The cup is a landfill. Like the cup is in a land. It's in a landfill. Everything out here is garbage. I'm gonna stay in the cup where there's air conditioning and Febreze.
You've been catered to and convinced by this metaphorical cup, Will. I don't know exactly what the cup represents. It might be fighting games. It's unclear. The important
Very
thing
unclear.
is
extremely uncertain.
Inside of you are two wolves. One likes grandma porn, and the other one likes clowns.
The secret to happiness is to have your wolves fuck each other. That's the secret. Anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts on the new Melty Blood. I am actually going to play it with Alex after we finish this podcast at some point. We'll play some more Smash and Melty Blood. I am at the very least curious to see how far my present lack of total hatred goes. Because I'm fairly certain I'll hit a point and be like, okay. And I think the point will be, which is what I hate so much about all these games, that every single interaction is going to end in some fucking ridiculously optimized 72-button combo. And that's what I hate the most out of all these games. And so presently, I have seen nothing that makes me think that won't be the case. And that's not to say that you can't play the game at all without those, because this game seems to do a better job of most at not forcing you to learn those things.
Yes.
But I would absolutely prefer that instead of just being like A to do an auto combo, you just didn't have combos like that. They just didn't exist. It would just be better in every way. There is no downside.
There's so many mobility options, and when you combine them with the sort of freeform reverse beat is what they call it, chain system in Melty.
Why do they gotta give everything a fucking stupid name? Why can't they just call it the fucking chain system? What the hell is wrong with you?
The chain
this
system
is the beat break buster system. This is the reverse beat moon guard. And then I read like 10 paragraphs of this shit, and then when I got done, I thought for about 5 seconds in my head, and then I said out loud, "This is just chains, you fucks!" Like to the tutorial when I was reading. Just say chains.
No, because a chain is ABC, and then it's not reverse beat. What's the other one? Rapid beat. Rapid beat is AAA or BB or CCCC or whatever. Yeah, it's different. They got different words for different things because they mean different things. And if I could go back,
the words they make up are like pee pee poo poo caca doo doo.
You're mad at rapid beat when you play fucking Smash. Want to talk to me about tomahawks?
Oh, no, wait a minute. Now, that is a severe mischaracterization. No.
Oh, yeah,
I have never been on any side other than that tomahawk is the stupidest fucking phrase ever made. A. B. The developers didn't put that in the game. That's just dumb Smash players making that up, which is a lot different than the devs putting it in. For those of you who don't know, Smashers very stupidly refer to empty jump grab as, quote, tomahawk.
Yes.
Why? No one knows.
Was
it's
it
the
a guy
dumbest
named Tomahawk?
It's the dumbest thing ever. I don't know. It's stupid. It's called empty jump grab. Shut up. If you say tomahawk, Mamma Mia, all these. So yeah, you have slandered my name by implying to our audience that I have ever said anything other than that.
Damn.
Tomahawk is the stupidest fucking thing ever. The other one that, oh my God, there was this brief period in Brawl. So you in a fighting game, everyone calls, not everyone, but a lot of people will call a grab, or more specifically, typically a command grab, a scoop.
Yes.
Because you're scooping someone up.
Yes.
Much like you would scoop up some ice cream with an ice cream scoop.
Example.
Yeah, you're scooping it up. And so if you get, typically, any grab can, but typically a command grab is like, oh, he scooped him up. He just scooped him up.
Mm-hmm.
There was this period in Brawl. I don't understand how the fuck it happened. But people just started referring to Meta Knight up B shuttle loop, which is basically like a Shoryuken, I guess you could say.
Sure.
People would shuttle loop people, and then they would go, oh, scoops.
No.
And every time it happened, I would just start I would be in the crowd screaming. I was just like, "Is that what a scoop is?" And like all these Smashers would just be like, "Why are you so angry?" And I'd be like, "Ah!" Like you don't know. It would be as if you went to a fucking like a dance contest, and someone did like a do-si-do, and then someone in the crowd was like, "Home run!" Did you see how sick that home run was? And you're like, why in the fuck would you call that a home run? This isn't baseball.
And where are we?
Even if it were, like, it just doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I don't know why Smashers do that. It doesn't make any sense. But they just make up the dumbest fucking names for shit for no reason.
You know what that is? That's cultural appropriation.
Is it?
You can't just call things that mean things to a certain culture. And Marvel players have a culture.
Do you think they heard the phrase scoop
No, I think it was just that it looked like he's scooping them up with his shuttle loop, whatever the move is. I think it has a scooping motion, and they decided to appropriate that word.
It's awful. I hated it at all times. So anyway, yeah, you're a liar and a thief. How dare you slander my name?
Slandered you.
Yeah. Anyway, Tomahawks are stupid. But anyway, yeah, Melty Blood.
10 out of 10 game. He said it's 3 times as good earlier. You remember? He said he expected a 20, but it ranked to 60. That means Will says it's 3 times better than he thought it would be. That's quantifiable.
I don't even think I can disagree with the saying that it is about 3 times better.
Because that's the math you did.
Because I really thought it was going to be very awful, and it is
pretty good.
Significant. I mean,
Wonderful.
I had a very low.
Your new favorite game.
No, but I had a very low expectation, like extremely low.
Yeah, I know. I saw Actually, I heard you say over and over again all of the disappointment, the pre-disappointment, the prejudice. I heard your prejudice
it's not
every
prejudice,
day.
though. That's like, no. Like,
I would come to you and I would be like, Will, look at this cool new trailer. It's not
prejudice if I'm like, hey, man, every year fucking cops murder people for no reason. And then there's a new cop party out. And I'm like, look, I feel like it's pretty likely they're going to murder everyone. And then you're like, why are you prejudiced against cops? I say, I'm not.
I would never.
This is objective.
You want to talk about slander?
This is objectively evidenced. Based on historical data.
I don't think this is gonna go great, you guys.
Yeah. So based on objective fact from previous interactions and experiences, I did not have high expectations for this game.
And you were pleasantly surprised.
I will agree with pleasantly surprised.
Completely overtaken by how much you liked the game.
Okay, slow the fuck down there, Chief.
You came.
I came.
No, it was 9:00 this morning. I had just gotten back from coffee, and Will said, "LOL, look at this screenshot." And I was like, "Wait, are you playing Melty?"
I did do a bit of, because I knew you were coming over today.
Yeah.
And so I did a bit of I didn't really lab per se. I just kind of like made sure I was familiar, because I wasn't even familiar with everything Vlav could do when we were playing last night. Like I knew like all of his specials basically, but I didn't know like a bunch of shit. And so yeah. I just looked like, oh, he can charge his fireballs and make them like unblockable, or oh, I can charge this other move. And then I think I did the tutorial for like basic mechanics, which I mostly knew most of them anyway, but it just like kind of helped cement them. So I didn't like lab combos or anything like that, really beyond like the basic shit. But
you didn't get.
But I did like wake up this morning and I got some coffee and I was like, well, I want to play like a little bit of WoW, I'll do a little bit of Diablo. But I was like, maybe I'll like fuck around just a smidge here with Melty Blood, so I'm not a total noob. When Alex comes over, and then Alex was like, wait, Will, are you labbing Melty Blood right now? And I just replied with
what?
Capital what? What? Absolutely not. I would never do that. So anyway, yeah, pleasantly surprised. That's all I've got, though.
That's a ringing endorsement if I've ever heard one. Will is telling you to buy Melty Blood, type Lumina. Available on PS4,
best
Steam,
game
Switch,
ever made.
Xbox One today.
Best game, Melty Blood. What's it called?
Type Lumina.
Type Lumina.
I haven't played the new. So Tsukihime came out in like 2004, 2002, something early 2000s.
Sweetest of Jams.
That's the one where I found out recently. He said Kinoko Nasu, who wrote Tsukihime, wrote this whole game, and then
Lumina.
No.
Oh,
Tsukihime, the visual novel.
Oh, wrote Tsukihime. Okay, go on.
Yeah. And his buddy was like, "Hey, so you don't have any fucking in that book. You should probably add sex scenes." And Nasu was like, "I don't know, man. I'm not good at writing them." And his buddy was like, No, don't worry about it. I'll show you the ropes. And then told him to put a bunch of sex scenes in it. Anyway, the game is, the world building is great. The sex scenes are so bad, I would say, Will, don't play Tsukihime. They came out, then he said, I'll make a remake of it later. The remake came out in August, but only in Japanese, so I can't play it. It's got, Vlav is in it. He's a new character. Yep. There's no sex this time. Play Tsukihime. Learn Japanese and play Tsukihime.
A2, it's ready for you, buddy. There's no
Hell
sex.
Yeah.
No sex in the A2 room. No sex in the A2 room. Anyway, that's I probably will never play that game. But
no, it's
fine.
You don't
it's
have
all good.
It's okay. You're playing Melty Blood. That's more than I could ask for.
Yeah.
Of your own volition. No one's coercing you.
We're gonna play Melty Blood right now. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's crazy. I've been MetalMusicMan.
I've been Professor Lex.
And we will catch you guys next time.